Welcome to Monmouth Rubber's Ask John Technical Support. What would you like to ask John about today?
Hi, John. Customers have been asking about the shelf life of rubber. They say everything they have read is way too complicated. Can you explain it in easy to understand terms?
Not a problem. That's why we're here, to explain it to you in simple to understand sentences and details. Shelf life of rubber. Shelf life of rubber is a simple question with a complex answer. Shelf life is a rather broad term that can mean different things to different companies and/or people. So we want to keep you, our customer, out of trouble by not passing on information to your customer that isn't technically correct. That's why we have Ask John. There are published tables that list recommended shelf life for different polymers. These tables are only a guide. Be careful. The shelf life of a particular polymer or rubber is, and by the way, polymer and rubber we use interchangeably, meaning the same thing. The shelf life of a particular rubber is highly dependent on how the rubber is compounded by the company that's making the product. So be careful when you look at a particular rubber and it says shelf life of X or Y. It's only a guide. Get you maybe on the right street, not in the right church, pew, or seat. The environmental conditions under which a specific compound is stored affects the shelf life. Some of the conditions are temperature, humidity, source of light, if any, oxygen, ozone, foreign materials, liquids, semi-solid materials, metal, and non-metal materials. Note, shelf life relates only to the functional use of the compound over a period of time when properly stored. It does not relate, and this is very important, it does not relate to how the material may or may not perform or function for a specific application. Be careful of this because it can get you in trouble with your customer. Keeping what we just learned in mind, it is important not to confuse shelf life with service life. Shelf life relates to storage only. It is separate and distinct from service life. Here, we're going to show you two samples. Storage conditions, as detailed previously, will affect not only the shelf life, but also the service life of a specific rubber formulation. The shelf life of Durafoam products. The shelf life of both our cellular and solid rubber and plastic materials has been studied over the past 20 plus years. When properly stored, that is, not exposed to the negative storage variables listed prior, the shelf life of Monmouth's products are a minimum of at least 1 year. That's what we certified to. However, on our Durafoam series, specifically the DK 1111, 2121, 3131, 4141, and 5151, they've been stored by us at room temperature out of direct sunlight for 15 plus years with no visible degradation. This is not a specification, but let me show you. Here's a sample of DK 1111 that's been stored since 2008, and it's just as tough and pliable and functional as it was then. Here's a sample of DK 1111 that was just made in 2017, and it is just as functional. So you see, shelf life can be a misleading requirement when we only say 1 year and your customer may want longer periods of time. Physical property testing for density, compression, deflection, color change, etc. statistically shows the difference as it relates to the 15 years. In other words, if we took this sample, tested it for compression, deflection, I can tell you by squeezing it, they would probably come out about the same. If you need further information and clarification as it relates to shelf life, contact us with all the test parameters required so that we can give more specific answers. And for that, all you have to do is go to our website, Download the information under Technical Library, Technical Information, or the blue button here. Click on it for shelf life, which will give you a white paper on it. The Joy of Rubber is also something that can be downloaded from our website. Here it is, The Joy of Rubber and Plastics. It'll make you happy. Everything you wanted to know about rubber and were afraid to ask. Have a technical question? Don't be worried. Ask John and we'll be there to try to give you an answer.